Bet Sharukkin, the Son of Perdition, by Alan Bonk. Chapter 9, The Missing People. In Oklahoma, USA, a news van drives past an arched metal signpost. Welcome to Okusa, gateway to the tall grass prairie. About 50 yards further along, there was another small sign saying, Jesus Saves, Okusa Community Church. The van had 3 people inside, and all in their 20s. On the wheel, Evelyn Odell, a communications expert. Evelyn looked like the girl next door, 5'6", with short brown hair and dark brown eyes. She has a Mediterranean complexion. In the back of the van, with the equipment, was a British video camera operator, Isaac Warren. He's a 23-year-old Englishman. Black hair combed straight back with hazel eyes. He's tall and lanky, but still athletic. He was a British national, but left his family in Britain to work at Washington, D.C. Riding shotgun was a reporter-journalist, Laura Thornton. She was definitely camera-ready. A slim 5'8", with blonde mid-length hair and fair complexion. Laura was scrolling down through Google Images. Well-maintained buildings, Indian souvenirs, in tourist-heavy shops, smiling locals in quaint cafes, open grasslands, and idyllic Midwest town. A call pops up from Sean Wright, the producer. He asks, "Where are you guys?" "What?" Laura tapped Evelyn on the shoulder. "We're on Cran Street." Sean gave Evelyn his position. "Got it. We'll be there in 15, Evelyn responded. Isaac Warren looked out the window and blurted out, "Whoa!" Laura, distracted by Isaac, "Hold tight. We'll be there soon. Bye," Laura told Sean. They slowed and looked. Cars were parked outside pristine commercial buildings, but no one on the sidewalks, no one in the shops, no one in the park. A true ghost town, deserted, abandoned. Evelyn whispered, "Unreal, so eerie." Then Isaac blurted out, Stop. We need to get a shot of this." The van was parked, but still running. The door slid shut, revealing Channel 7 DC I-Team written on the side. Evelyn was still in the driver's seat, looking out. Isaac pointed a bulky camera at Laura, who was getting ready, in front of a deserted street. 3, 2, 1, and Isaac counted down. During the aftermath of 2 major astrological disasters and war in the Middle East, over 1 billion people have been killed. But now it comes to light that some, perhaps tens of thousands, have simply gone disappearing. All over the world, many think that most of them have gone into hiding, believing that the only safe place would be in shelters or underground. The Channel 7 News investigative team have come to Okusa, Oklahoma, where everyone has virtually disappeared, Laura stated. Isaac said, "Cut." But as he did, a cutting wind blew. His arm hair stood on end. He added, "Okay, that's it. I'm out of here. Let's go. We got what we needed." Laura laughed. "Oh, no, you don't. The I in I-Team means investigate. Come on, we've got a job to do." The van arrived at an intersection, coming up finally to 3 people on lounge chairs, sitting on someone's lawn. They met the rest of the team. Producer Sean Wright, 28, short blonde hair with intense blue eyes. He has a stout build, and there's no doubt he's in charge, although perpetually stressed. Sally Hamilton, the still camera photographer. She could be Laura's younger sister, but she has shorter hair, and she kept it short for convenience. Gus G. Hubbard, the investigator. He's 42, a no-nonsense man with dark brown eyes and brown hair, and a big man, 6'2", 200 pounds, and with a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. He's honest to a fault. He's just finalized his divorce and not at all happy. He's with the team to help them read clues. They reunited as a team, handshakes and polite smiles, still professional. Laura asked Sean, "Tell me, you found those shelters?" "I'm sorry to disappoint you," Sean spoke. "Come on, at least one. Somebody, anybody," Evelyn asked. Sean explained, "No, none at all. Not even the handful of residents which first reported the disappearance. They've left and refused to return at all." Sean turned to Gus. "You go with Isaac. Sally, go with Evelyn. Laura, you come with me. It's better that you guys see all these things for yourself." The team began to explore the neighborhood. Gus led Isaac to the pathway of the house behind them. Truck still parked in the driveway. Isaac peeked through the window. The TV was on the news channel. In another home, Evelyn opened a fridge. It's well stocked. The produce box had fruits and veggies inside. Sally took a picture. Sean opened a closet, bathroom, and bedroom. The clothes were folded, toiletries were there, and the bed was well kept. Later in the day, they were on Cran Street, and as they approached the 4th house, the streetlights turned on. They stopped in their tracks. "All right, let's make this the last stop. We'll spend the night here. Take your pick," Sean spoke. He looked around the other homes, lights still on, seemingly just another day winding down. "That one's as good as any, I guess," Laura remarked. "Sean, call Eve and get the van turned around." The crew entered with their backpacks on. A decent middle-class home, but somehow different. There was a photo of an old man on the piano. They made themselves feel at home. Some were exploring and some on the couch, tired, but minds racing. Gus was perplexed. If we're just looking at this based on the evidence, these people fled away from their homes quickly, on foot, or at least they were given rides to their destination by someone else. Their vehicles are still here. The thing is, I didn't see any signs of a rush. No one even bothered to take their belongings or valuables," added Laura. "If you're going to hide, wouldn't you take your food? You wouldn't leave it behind. Or your clothes, right? But they did. They even left their guns," Gus stated. Isaac appeared from the hallway, wide-eyed. "You won't believe this. You won't believe this." Isaac led the others into the owner's study. Books everywhere, charts and pictures on the wall. The computers on the desk were still on. "Out of all the houses here, we just had to stumble on the one Bible prophecy nut on the block," Gus remarked. Evelyn was at the desk going through the owner's PCs. "Those aren't the half of it. Laura, come here." Laura responded, "No, that's just a major breach of privacy." "What?" These computers were all on when we got here. Just look at this, Laura. There are dozens of pictures and news articles. The owner here has been following the career of some Assyrian big shot. Evelyn explained. You mean Syrian, right? Laura asked. Evelyn answered, no. Evidently there's a difference. And Assyrians still exist in Iran and Iraq. There's tons of this stuff. Look, detailed charts are all over. Scroll here, there. These are all recent events in the Middle East. Wait, are those Bible verses? She continued. Yep. All from the Jewish prophets which foretold all of those events. Sean came up behind them. He held a pen that he found on the desk, and he instinctively slipped it into his shirt pocket and said, we've also found files where he showed the events that are still to come, even the order he believed they would happen. So, Sean, you're saying these charts are a guide to the future events of the world? Laura asked. Isaac and Sally found a timeline of events lying on the desk, an X mark with a dark pin. We are here. The spot indicated the removal of the bride of Christ. Sally read, they which are alive and remain shall be caught up to the clouds in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, when we shall all be changed. Only those who were looking for Christ's return would hear his voice, and that no one else would see the event. It will be a mystery. Isaac began to mock the old man. Oh boy. Gus joined in. You can keep your Bible and all its tales. Evelyn rolled her eyes at the two guys and handed Isaac a thick external hard drive. Isaac asked, what is this? It's 3 terabytes of backed up data. Charts, commentaries, photos, the whole shebang, Evelyn answered. Hey, we can't just be taking this guy's stuff, Isaac exclaimed. Evelyn turned to Sally. Back me up on this. I say take it, Sally stated. Gus went through one of the books on the shelf. DC is on the spine. On the front page was Property of Thomas Taylor. Whoop. Look at what I got here, exclaimed Gus. They all gathered behind him, peered over Gus with a large book. He started flipping pages, a very detailed map of Washington, D.C., with indication of cryptic symbols and handwritten details. Laura turned to Sean and said, we've got to verify this. Don't tell me you guys are actually considering this, asked Gus. If you find some other explanation for this, let me know. We'll take it too. But for right now, this is all we've got, Laura added. Sean gathered the whole team in the living room. We need to get a consensus on what we're going to report back to the agency. Here's how I see it. The people appear to have left their homes willingly and left with others of their community. They left to a place of refuge where we could not locate, but it appears to be a remote location, which is some distance away. There's also no indication of when or if they will return, and no indication of foul play of any kind. Sean stared at the others. Then he continued, I think that anything beyond these facts would be speculation on our part. I also feel that we should not tell anyone about the idea that God may have removed them. That could ruin our careers. Also, don't show anyone else the data we've collected. To Sean's surprise, He got his consensus from the others. Later that week, the crew have returned to their news agency in D.C. The station's head producer, Karen Newton, went through the crew's report and research. She shot Sean a suspicious gaze. "You've got to be kidding me. These people left their homes willingly? To a place of refuge?" "It's all right there," Sean explained. "So, you're sure they're not dead?" Karen suspiciously asks. "There's no evidence that they're dead." "I don't think so." Sean kept his cool. Sean went home to his apartment, where the others in the team were conducting research. When he arrived, he hardly got a reaction. From Evelyn and Gus, they were glued to their laptops. "Did you two even sleep?" Sean asked. "Well, I hate to say it, but the symbols are everywhere," Gus stated. Evelyn faced her monitor to Sean, a shaky phone camera video of Laura inside the statuary hall at the Capitol building. It panned to a statue of a woman with an eagle attending beside her. It zoomed in at the left of the statue, a broken column with a serpent coiled around it. The camera pointed back to Laura, who had her phone up. It was a photo taken from the book. "A coil snake," Laura added. Isaac spoke. "Would you look at that?" The video stopped and rewound to the frame where the snake is on the column. According to Thomas's book, the interpretation of the medallion is Nimrod's Babylon will die and will appear dead, but will be revived by Lucifer at some point in the future, Evelyn reported. The snake is named Helios, Lucifer in Hebrew. He emphasizes that Helios around the broken column represents a broken nation, and the new nation is revealed at the center, explained Gus. He rewound back to the statue and the woman and the eagle and said, "America is the daughter of Babylon." "Aren't you just stretching this?" asked Sean. "No. I believe this is intentional. The symbols are too precise to be just chance. I don't know what they actually mean, but I know what they intended for them to mean," Gus replies. Evelyn started a slideshow of statues. Gus added, "These are from Sally, taken from the government buildings around D.C., statues of the woman America, and the eagle, with a nude youth and genius, a presiding spirit. There are pagan gods everywhere. Just look at it." The slides continued. A photo of a painting at the center of the Capitol Rotunda with George Washington at the center of a heavenly scene. Circled around him are Greek and Roman gods and goddesses, instructing the American forefathers. No reference of the biblical God. Everywhere was just as the data indicated, and Sean, Evelyn spoke as she opened to a bookmarked page. She handed it to Sean. Sean sighs and says, "Gather everyone here tonight." The crew were at Sean's apartment and huddled over dinner. "It's crazy. I've never even given these statues or paintings any thought." "I've been stationed here for years," Isaac exclaimed. Laura remarked, "What is disturbing is that I've been monitoring the news recently with the government research we're verifying, and I have to admit, now I'm seeing the anti-God bias of the government like never before." The conclusion, this guy Thomas wrote, a secret organization was responsible for founding of America, a secret esoteric religious group, which is not Orthodox Christian, Evelyn stated. The laws of America were Judeo-Christian because most of the population were Christian and would not have accepted anything else, Laura added. If you think about it, the American government was designed to allow laws to change as the people wished. The government could, over time, take God out of the laws and replace them with humanist thinking or whatever, Sally added. Right. It was this perversion of God's laws that the Bible indicated was to be the reason why God would destroy America. God would remove his protection that had been over America from her creation, and that even if America should place her national defenses in outer space, the destruction would be successful, Evelyn said. Sean was reading the book and jotting down notes when he realized he's using the pen that he found in the study of Thomas Taylor. Oh man, I took his pen. Oh well, too late now. Sean continued reading the book. The thing that shook me was that Thomas actually listed down the nations involved in the attack and destruction of America. An assembly of great nations. Russia, Iran, Ethiopia, and the 10 commander generals associated with the 10 nations of NATO. Gus interrupted. Now. While this information is all very interesting, let's not go jumping into bunkers. It only proves that the Christian researcher from Oklahoma was thorough and persuasive in his studies. It does not mean that there's a God or that God is going to destroy anything. One thing that is happening, I'm pretty sure, we're all beginning to see things, the world, differently, Sally remarked. Eve, you said you have something to show us, asked Sean. Eve turned on a projector on a bare wall. It had the charts which had been prepared with scriptures that applied, and the order in which the events would happen. Take note that the destruction of America won't happen next, Gus dictated. Evelyn stated the nation of Egypt was to be the next major event. Egypt would be destroyed, burned by fire, from the north to the south, and uninhabited for 40 years. Well, Isaac laughed. Well, that settles it. Unless Egypt goes kaboom, there's no reason for us to worry about America. End of chapter 9.